All right, people. Thanks for returning back with us on Real Tough Talk. And we're going to get into the big game that everybody was waiting to see. The Sharks versus Dem Gettas. Now, Sharks are coming in off of a loss to Blackout, while Dem Gettas is coming in off of a blowout beating Don't Sleep. This is the games that you figure Hollywood went out and got Chuck for. These are the teams that he would need to beat. Even though right now the Sharks are 0-2, this is them playing practically in a playoff atmosphere because they know this is one of the top teams that they will probably meet in the playoffs. They know that if they can win this game, it'll kind of can be the opportunity to turn around their season. And this is the fact that, this is why this is a must-win game, I think, for the Sharks. And for Dem Gettas, this is the opportunity for Chuck to really show why Hollywood drafted him by going up against another top team in the league.
I mean, regardless of what you say, with all of that said, nobody wants to go down being 1-2. No matter what team they are, no matter what circumstances it is. You don't want to go down 1-2. All of those points that you made are also relevant on top of that. But the fact that you go down 1-2 in the first 3 games you played, knowing all the moves that you made, picking up Pams and Chuck and all of these guys, and you're only 1-2, that's gonna put some worry in your future. So at the end of the day, I figure with all those points said, plus then wanting to make sure that things aren't falling apart, they want to win this game. At the end of the day, that's what they're looking
at. And what do you think about the Sharks as far as Akon not being here for the second game in a row and they go on with Stevie?
I mean, Stevie's pretty much playing to hold down the ship. From what we know, Akon is going to play for this team. He's going to be their quarterback throughout the season into the playoffs.
Right.
So Stevie's holding down the ship the best that he can. He's been doing a good job in the games that he's been playing so far, but is it going to be enough that they are going to be able to be competing, have a competitive record when Akon's able to come back and play? That remains to be seen. So this game is a must-win for the Sharks as well. So I think it goes both ways. Both teams wants to win right now.
All right, we're going to jump right into the game with Sharks getting the ball. Stevie throws a 0 in the gap, running for a decent game. Third down, Stevie with blocking from Gil, throws to Ed, wide open in the gap, who runs in and for the touchdown. If you look here, Megatron steps up, thinking Stevie is running, leaving Ed wide open. Pop gets the extra point, 7-0. Sharks start off early.
And Megatron has been a guy that's been a veteran for this this Dem Gettas team, but he hasn't played with them in the last couple seasons. So I think that he has to get acclimated into that defense a little bit more. As you see here, he sees Stevie rolling out and rolls out with him, thinking that he's gonna run. I don't know why he's rolling out and moving. Because of that, Ed is left wide open on the opposite side. The only person that was able to stop him is Megatron, and he's not there, so Ed is able to run right into the end zone to score.
Chuck gets the ball back for DG. After 2 passes in the gap, Chuck throws the bones on the sideline for a nice game, picking up the first down. Second down, Chuck with blocking from Timmy, runs in the middle, pitches it to West for a decent game. Third down, at the 10-yard line, Chuck with blocking from Timmy and Juice, rolls left, throws to Cable in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. They get right back into the game, 7-6. If you look here, Kirby slides left with Chuck and Cable wide open. And Dre is flagged for the cursing. But let's get with the touchdown play first. This is a great play by Chuck. Chuck manipulating Herbie. Herbie hasn't really played in a while, so sometimes you just off with your instincts. He rolled with Chuck, leaving Cable wide open. Chuck used that against him and able to score.
And the thing about that play is Chuck had nowhere else to go once he rolled out. So all Herbie had to do was stay there in that vicinity, and he would have been able to make a play. Or that would have forced Chuck to hold the ball. Anything could have happened if Herbie would have stood there, but he ends up sliding over. As Chuck rolls out, that leaves Cable open, and that's a missed opportunity for a big defensive play.
And Dre gets a huge cursing penalty on the first defensive drive as they were on. Now all the team has a warning. That may be big. We're going to jump right back in. First down, Stevie gets blitzed by Chris. Throws it to Meek in the middle. The pass is blocked by Julian and give up incomplete. Third down, Stevie on 4 rush throws the Drake in the gap. That's going to be dropped. Sharks have to punt. Dre has to be this team's leader. You just got a cursing penalty, and now you drop the big pass when you're trying to get a first down. I think he kind of let them down with that play, and that's going to force him to have to punt.
I mean, when you're in the game against a team like DG, against a quarterback like Chuck, opportunities that's given to you on offense, you have to take it. This was a missed opportunity here. They weren't able to move the ball. They were under pressure. They're not protecting Stevie on this drive, and because of that, they weren't able to move the ball. So they have to protect Stevie, give him some time to make these passes, and they probably will have a more successful drive. But right here, they get stopped.
Third down, after 2 short plays, Chuck throws the cable, cutting in the gap for a decent gain. Fourth down at the 45-yard line. Chuck has Butter hit the middle and runs on the sideline for a decent game, picking up the first down. Chuck is showing that he's still kind of mobile. He's not the fastest quarterback in the league, but he has a little trickery and runs at certain times. Big run here, great block by Butter to help him get the first down. Chuck with blocking from Timmy, throws the cable, cutting in the middle for a decent game. If you look here, Peach and Ralph are both on the sideline. Big miscommunication by them. Third down, Chuck with blocking from Hollywood, throws the cable in the gap, getting to the 6-yard line. If you see here, Dre steps up to rush in, leaving the gap open. 3 people are rushing in. You can't give that to Chuck. He makes them pay. 4th and goal, Chuck on 4 rush finds Megatron in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, they give him too much space, never steps up. Chuck takes the lead, 12-7. DG takes the lead.
And after they got that first down, it was Chuck pretty much manipulating the defense with Hollywood giving that time to do so. And on this play right here, I think that this play kind of hurt the drive on the defense because they have a blitzer coming in, and then they have two guys. They have the ball giver, and they have the extra player here rushing in. So that's 3 people rushing in. That's 2 defenders that you do not have in the backfield guarding these receivers. And because of that, Chuck is able to make some easy plays to get into the end zone. The defense is actually giving away opportunities for Chuck to take advantage of, and that's exactly what he's doing.
After getting the first down, Stevie's blitzed by Chris. He rolls right and throws a 0 on the sideline for a nice gain. Stevie is playing well. I know we give Chuck a lot of shine, and we even talked about Akon early in the season. But I think when Stevie has stepped in, he's played decently well. He has to be one of the best backups in the league right now. Playing great way to move the ball and keep this drive going. Third down, Stevie throws to Meek, cutting in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Meek beats Dev off of the Chuck at the 5-yard line. 13-12, they take the lead back. I like Dev. That's going to be a tough assignment because Meek has height and he has somewhat speed. So when Dev jams him, he's not able to really keep him in a full jam. And once you give Meek that much release, the guy's a playmaker and he makes a great play there for the touchdown.
Listen, and if you're gonna make a jam like this, you gotta jam them way out of the play. That's my opinion. If you're just gonna bump them, slow them down, a lot of these receivers are fast enough to get right back onto the route. And Meek is one of those receivers. And as soon as Dev makes the chuck, Meek beats him off of that chuck and gets the cutting lane into the end zone, and Dev can't do anything about it.
Second down, with blocking from Timmy, Chuck rolls left, throws the Juice in the middle for a big gain and a first down. If you look here, Juice beats Ralph as he cuts in from the backfield. But DG can't score before the half. Sharks are able to make the stop, and we're going into halftime 13-12.
And the Sharks get away with one as time runs out. They were able to hold on that last drive because they would have been in trouble if this DG team was able to score before the half. Because I believe, if I'm right, they get the ball back. DG gets the ball back. So if they would have been able to score towards the half, they would have been in trouble. So they were able to hold on this stop. This was big, and the defense has to feed off of this drive right here in the second half. This is the way they have to play. They gave up 2 touchdowns from them making bad decisions. They have to recover on that, and they have to give Stevie time. Stevie is playing well on the offense in the pocket. Give him some time to make things work, and they have a good opportunity to extend this lead in the second half.
Listen, they scored 2 out of 3 possessions. I'll take that if I'm DG. You expect Chuck to put more, but you'll take that. You know he's capable of putting more. So there's no real issue. On the other side, I will be concerned if I'm this defense and if I'm Pants, because this defense gave up 2 scores. They gave up a touchdown, then they forced him to punt. But they punted because Dre dropped a big first down play. So if Dre catches that, then they're on their way to score again. This defense has not been really great. We know they shut out Don't Sleep, but that was more Bream and that offense not playing well. The question is not the offense, it's if this defense can play consistently and hold teams down. We're going to have to see as we go into the second half. Second half, BG gets the ball. Second down, Chuck with blocking from Timmy. Throws to Hollywood, low, incomplete. Third down, Chuck on 4 rush, throws the Bones in the middle. That's going to be dropped. Fourth down, Chuck on 4 rush, throws the Bones in the gap. Bones falls, incomplete, turnover on downs. That is a giveaway. They wasn't able to move the ball, and the Sharks able to stop it.
And the thing about it is these last 2 plays by Bones was key. They were able to they were able to lock up on Bones and have at least one defender on him at all times. And these plays attest to that. If you look here, he drops his pass, but it is a tough catch to make here. And then on this play here, Bones, he's on with a defender. He's not able to keep his balance, but I don't think he would have been able to get that ball anyway. So this is good defense by the Sharks coming out in the second half, and they're playing well, stopping BG right away.
Stevie gets the ball for the Sharks. He's going to roll right on 4 rush and throw the Mo in the gap, basket and drop. Second out, Stevie on 4 rush, throws the Mo in the middle, low, incomplete. Sharks are not able to move the ball. They will have to punt. That is a good stop. That is DG defense backing up Chuck, as Chuck wasn't able to score, able to get him the ball back.
And the first play on the drive is, and the first big play of the drive was Mo dropping that pass. That kind of stagnated that drive, and everything else wasn't working on that drive. DG played well on defense. They were able to lock up, but this is yet another opportunity that could have went differently if Mo was able to hold on to that pass. That's unfortunate for the offense, and they were forced to punt there.
DG gets the ball back. Third down, after 2 passes in the gap, Chuck is blitzed by Mo, blocked by Timmy. Chuck throws to Josh, cutting in the gap for a nice gain. If you look here, Herbie gets beat as he cuts inside. Herbie just got beat. I know Herbie's a little rusty, but Chuck is going to go after him. He doesn't care, and because he knows he's rusty, he's going to go after him. That's a great play by Josh. Makes a great play there. Third down, Chuck is blitzed and throws deep to Bones, incomplete, and Dre gets flagged for offsides and replay on down. Now, Dre's going to make an act that we're going to get to ladies and straight with the call, and we're going to get into that as we talk at the end of the game. Just remember this play. Chuck on 4 rush, throws a cable in the gap. That's going to be dropped, and they're going to have to punt. This is not Chuck. These are several drops that does not help you in this game. And not only is it dropped, this guy's not really on the same level. Chuck throws deep to Bones, it's going to be incomplete. You know what I mean? He goes to cable, that's getting dropped. It's like these guys are not making plays to help Chuck. And it looks like it's Chuck, but it's really not. But that's another stop by the Sharks defense.
And with all the things that happened on this drive, they were able to still make a stop. That is, you give credit to the defense for holding their heads, because there were a lot of flags on this play. On this drive, there were a lot of things. Or they felt like there were certain things that didn't go their way and things like that. But they were still able to hold on to their defense and still make a stop here. That's them staying with the plays and whatnot. We're gonna talk about what happened on this drive, but at the end of the day, they were still able to stay focused and make a big stop here.
Sharks struggle to move the ball, and they're going to have to punt. Another great defensive stand by this DG defense. Chuck gets the ball with the clock running, which is something you don't want him to do because you know this guy's will walk off the game. Tuff with blocking from Timmy, throws to Josh in the gap for a decent game. Second down, Chuck again with a block from Tim. Throws to Josh in the back. Decent game, first down. If you look here, Herbie playing back, leaving the gap wide open. Herbie looks so rusty. He's not used to this defense right now, and Chuck is going after him. Chuck is going to have blocking from Tim. Throws to Bones on the sideline. With the hit from Ralph, the pass is dropped by Bones, picked off by Mo. Ending the game, Sharks come away with the win, 13-12. This is a great hit by Ralph. Now, this is my issue. A lot of guys say Bones is in the same category as Cabby. He is not. If you get physical with Bones, he tends to drop the football. And Ralph did exactly that. He didn't worry about jumping with Bones. He didn't worry about trying to make a play with Bones. He knew if he gets physical with Bones, Bones is not going to hold on to the ball. He got physical with him. Bones drops the ball and is picked off by Mo, giving the Sharks the win.
And the thing about that is I believe if that was third down, they had another play to go after that. So if Bones was able to hold on to that pass, they probably would have been able to score on this drive. We've seen Chuck do it before. So at the end of the day, that was a great way for Ralph to read the play and step up and make a physical play on the ball. So if he doesn't step up, this is most likely a catch and the drive keeps going. So that was a way to say, I pretty much think that play saved the game because it could have went the other way if Ralph didn't step up to make that huge play on defense.
We're going to go to an interview. We're going to speak to Dre and Orlando. And we're going to get an interview with them, and then we're going to come back. We'll be right back.
What's going on, people? Stephen J. here with Dre and Coach Orlando from the Sharks. We're going to ask y'all what happened this game. This was a big game for you. Your team is 0-2 going against Dem Gettas, who's kind of thought favorite to go to a championship. How was y'all able to just stay focused in the game?
Well, you know, when you're going up against Chuck and Pamsy, you come out to play ball. You don't come out half-stepping. So we took what we had. We didn't have the whole team there, but we took what we had and we went to war. We had a couple opportunities. We missed some plays. We had some drops. But at the same time, our defense stepped up. Our defense played ball like you wouldn't even expect. Dre was the leader of that. Dre had his two claps and had the guys focus. And, you know, we were able to stay in that game. And at the end of the day, we pulled it out. But great game. Respect to them. Hats off to them. But, yeah, we pulled it out.
Akon is your starting quarterback, but Stevie's ready to go and win. How is it like to see Stevie knowing that he's the backup, but when it's time for him to go and he goes in, no type of animosity, nothing? What does that say about Stevie?
No, listen, this team is a team. Like we all, it's always next man up. So Stevie's won chips with us. Stevie's has been to war with us. So we love Akon. We love what he brings to the game. 40 points opening day when we had nobody. So we absolutely respect everything that Akon brings to the game. But in the moment that Akon is not available, we have all the faith in the world that Stevie's going to step up and do what he's got to do. And we did that.
Trey, y'all depend on y'all defense, especially at a game like today. What did your defense prove to not only you, to the league this game?
I think overall we just proved today that we're able to stick together. I know a lot of people outside looking in, they think that, we're a bunch of good players, talented players that just can't click right. But I think today showed that. First of all, shouts out to the greatest. It was a privilege playing against you guys today. Playing against Chuck and Pam's just brings fire out of you, period. Emotional game, but hats off to them. They played a great game. I just think my defense just played great today.
Now, I'm glad you said that. And obviously, you went, you apologized to the official. Everybody saw something. You kind of have a situation where you didn't put hands on him, but the gesture. Absolutely. What did that say? You apologized to him, but now with the league gonna check it out,
yes, sir.
Possible suspension.
Absolutely.
What do you think about that whole play? Tell me about it.
The rules are the rules, man. First of all, I apologize to Danny as an individual, as a man. It's not acceptable. For two, it's an emotional game. They know, guys, if you know me, that's not how I play at all. It's an emotional game, and I'm just trying to win. But I'll take whatever consequences come with it, and once again, I apologize to the UFL League as a man.
How big was this win? How big would it have been if y'all were to go 0-3 in that tough division? How big? Was this a must-win game?
I would say so. Every game is a must-win. That's why we're here to play. Unfortunately, first two games we dealt with injuries, things of that nature, guys not being available, but as you can see, I think if we bring it together, man, this team will be tough, man. Shout out to all the competition, though.
All right, we're going to thank Dre for being here. They came up with a big win on Dem Gettas.
And I'm back, Legion of Boom.
Dem Gettas, they came up with a big win, definitely in a tough division, that West division. It's tough. They needed it, and they got it done. We're going to have to see what the league does about Dre's situation, but he apologized. We're going to see how it goes going forward. See you on the site. All right, later.
All right. We're gonna thank those guys for the interview. Really appreciate the on-field interview. Tell me what you saw first, what you thought, and then I'll break down the game before you wrap it up.
I saw the Sharks hold the line in the second half. They were not able to move the ball. They were struggling in the second half. They weren't able to get it done the way they did in the first, but their defense held the line. Their defense made stops when they needed to. The defense got physical. The defense locked up on certain receivers. That's what they needed for the Sharks defense. They were kind of on and off in a lot of their other games, but this game in the second half, this is the defense that they needed. They made some mistakes, of course, but they were able to hold and at the end of the day make the stops. Bend but no break. That's the defense that you need, and that's what I noticed from the Sharks, and that's why they ended up coming away with the close win.
What about DG?
DG left opportunities on the field. They dropped a lot of passes. Chuck trying his best. One thing I got to give, Timmy gave Chuck a lot of time.
Yes, sir.
He was blocking a lot. Hollywood, of course, making a couple blocks himself. But these guys got to catch the ball. You see Josh showing up in the second half, making some big plays, catching Herbie by surprise with some of his big plays there. But other guys got to step up. Cable was a big factor in the beginning of the game, and then he kind of tapered out at the, on key plays. And at the end of the day, we didn't see enough of West in this game. You didn't really hear him in our analysis, and that is not something that you want to hear when you're talking about DG's offense. He has to be a factor on the offense, and he wasn't in this game. So I think these things coming together is why DG ended up coming away with a close loss. It wasn't enough for this one.
I'm gonna talk about the Sharks first, and I'll talk about DG. Sharks played well. This is the type of games they need to play. They have too much talent on the other side of the ball to not play like that. But they do got in-house turmoil going on because Twan didn't show up. I've been told from an inside source, Orlando wouldn't really tell me anything. But there's always one guy inside that we get sources from. And I've been heard everything in the camp ain't going great. Twan is not happy. And he didn't show up today. Hopefully we can speak to somebody from the organization and get a little more insight about that. But that's an issue. I think Stevie played well. Akon possibly puts up more points. Yeah. But Stevie did his job not to lose the game. Now, on the situation with Dre. Dre got flagged for cursing. Dre went offsides. Dre had a lot of turmoil, a lot of frustration. And if you look here, he was caught with it's hard to say, really kind of an aggressive gesture towards the ref on that offsides play, which he did go offsides. And, that's definitely going to lead to consequences. I've been told that the league has suspending him from the next game for this play towards the ref because the league is not going to tolerate that. You heard him during his interview apologizing, and we appreciate that. The guy's a former UFL MVP, so he has to be more of a leader on his team. This can't be tolerated. A cursive penalty, an offside penalty, he has to tone it down if he's going to lead. And it leaked over as you saw him drop a big pass. He has to tone it down because if not, the team is not really going to have him on the field. He has to get better. I think Orlando will make sure he's better, but now they're going to lose him for the next game as he's been given a one-game suspension.
And this hurts because it comes off like, and I'm pretty sure that he mentioned it too, it comes off like he was like aggressive from the beginning. He got flagged for cursing in the beginning of the game. I believe that it was just who he was playing against. It was a lot of the Carver guys. This is his former team with DG. So he was a little too energetic, a little too fired up. It looks like he took this game too personal.
Correct.
That's what it is. And you could take a game personal, but not go overboard. And I think that Dre went a little bit overboard. There was some plays where he will make a play on defense, a hit or whatever, and he got caught. Some players on the other side said that he was shouting over the person after making a play and stuff like that. You got to keep in control because everybody else is feeding off of your energy. They're feeding off of your, you know, your vibe. They're feeding off of your actions. So at the end of the day, I've seen Dre be a leader on the defense, be a guy that keeps control, keeps everybody focused. He wasn't that today. He was energetic, but he wasn't keeping everybody focused. And because of that, you know, it led to the situation. It's unfortunate because he is needed on this Sharks defense. He is needed. He made some key plays on defense in this game, despite all of that. So he's gonna be sorely missed in the next game.
Yeah, definitely. I had players step up. Moore with a great interception to end the game. This is why they drafted him.
Yes.
This is why they wanted him. This team is very dangerous, and now they move to 1-2. They lose Dre for the next game, but I think Orlando was prepared as he, for a suspension. And that's why he's a great coach. He pretty much know what he has to do for this team.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna be fine. Now on the other side, I think DG's in trouble. I'll tell you why. The first game, I think, they still haven't figured out their identity. Chuck, after going 2 for 3 in the first half, he didn't score in the second half. They got stopped, they punted, and they threw an interception. He went 0 for 3 in the second half. This defense adjusted and was able to stop him. Now, the Sharks' offense didn't score in the second half either, but that didn't matter. This is a defensive team. And then we was told that Trev, who had signed with DG, has left to go to play with 99 problems. He was out there on Saturday, but was with 99. He had said that he's leaving Dem Gettas to go to 99. And we've also been told that Bones is unhappy right now, and it's possible that he may be leaving also DG. You've seen Juice leave to go and play with Sharks. You've seen Randy leave to go play UTF. So I don't know. Everybody picked this DG team to be great, and they're gonna do this and they're gonna do that. Right now they're 1-2. 1-2. And they beat a don't sleep team who is coming off of a championship high. What do you think is going to happen with this DG team going forward? I think if Pence can get this team to a championship, this will be the most finding coaching he's done in UFL. The last time Chuck and Pam's was 1-2 was in 2017-2018 season. And they had lost to Violators, who beat them 8-7, who had a better defense to shut them down. And they lost to the same Dem Gettas team when it was called Dub Gettas, when they beat them, I believe, by 2 touchdowns. Yeah. It was 27-19, something like that. So at the end of the day, it's not like they haven't been in this position before. They only been there once in their whole career in UFL. But at the end of the day, I think they need to figure out who they're going to be going forward. But you still got to play Blackout. You still got to play Grindtime. You still got tough teams in the division that you got to play. So right now, if I'm DG, I'm panicking right now.
And I would agree with you about them having some problems. It's hard for me to say that they have to worry right now. Now, if they lose the next game, then it's definite panic mode. I'm not there yet. Yes, they lost 2. They're 1-2 right now. That first game was a nail biter. So that could have went either way. Yes, they were not as strong on defense, but that game could have went either way. So I'm not going to kill them for that first game. The second game, they won. They blew out Don't Sleep, and that was mainly because Don't Sleep played terrible. This game here was their first loss that they weren't able to really get it done, more so than the first game. So I would give them one more game for them to go down to being 1-3, and then I'm in panic mode. The thing about it is a lot of those guys that you mentioned, they did leave but I think that they left for more selfish reasons, not because, oh, things aren't going well or whatever. Randy wants to play his game, and he's able to play his game when he's with his quarterback, Jeremy. That's why he went to UTF. Trev wants to be that high energy, high octane player. He can't do that on DG, in my opinion. So that's why he's able to go to a team like 99 where he fits right in. So, and then Bones, you know, he wants to go on a team where I guess he feels at home. And there's a lot of guys on, you know, other teams that he would feel more at home with, I guess. Like I said, this is just me speculating. So
yeah, remember, we don't know. I'm just talking about the way he looked at the end of the game. I feel that he's going to leave. I didn't get any, you know. I'm
so
just
at the end of the day, I saw it too, and that's why I'm talking the way I am. So again, that's just speculation on my part as well. But at the end of the day, I feel like the defense, you know, the offense, pretty much this whole team, certain guys got to step up a little bit more. I haven't seen enough of West this season. He has to be the main guy on his offense. The offense has to be focused around moving the ball with West. Josh has been stepping up and being an extra weapon for Chuck, but they have to, like, Cable Guy playing well. It can't be only these guys. Somebody else has to step up and be a target for Chuck.
They don't have anybody else. They don't have any burners. Trev wants to go to 99 because he wants to have fun.
Yes.
That's why he's going with Mills, who's over there, Shannon, that's over there. And Randy left to go to UTF because he wanted to have fun with Jeremy and Josh over there.
Much that you're saying DG's not the
no, they're not. They're an older, seasoned team. And when Pams came, it was the Carver way, the Patriot way. That's what won Carver 3 championships. Well, you're not going to gain a lot of young players doing it. You know what I mean? The young players that you had that played with Carver that you could have gotten didn't come with you to this team.
Yeah.
So you got to ask yourself why. Because this is not the A division. They're trying to have a good time, be on camera, and shine. You're not getting that on DG. DG's just looking to win. So now DG has a problem. You remember? Houston, we have a problem. DG, we have a problem. Because the talent that you gained, gone. And you didn't go and get enough firepower in order to keep this up. That's why they were only able to score 12 points. 12. They could not score in the second half. You know why? Sharks have speed. And they can lock up in a man. And without any burners on this Dem Gettas team to open up the field, this team's in trouble. We're going to wrap this one up. Sharks coming away with the narrow win over DG, 13-12. We'll be right back. All right, next game up we want to talk about is Grindtime versus PME. Now, Grindtime is coming in off of a win and never scared. PME is coming up of a loss to 99. The thing about that loss to 99 is PME looked different. They looked like they were having more fun. They didn't really, I don't want to say complain, but they didn't seem like they were worried about the officiating. And I seen Jaquan step up as a leader, something that I've criticized him with last season. Even after he got ejected, we seen him step up as a leader, even getting involved where he, shouldn't have been on the field last week when he got ejected. But it showed a lot of leadership. And even though they lost, they did not make any excuses. I think the team was more dangerous. Not only did they lead the league in interceptions last year, but this team has seemed to have grown as a unit. And I think that's what makes them dangerous. And today they got their starting quarterback, Rel.
And I think that having Rel there is going to be a big a difference maker for them. Because now they can have that confident offense that they should have. They didn't have that when they were, playing with Dave as a backup. Nothing against Dave, but he is not their starting quarterback. So now they can feel like this is our team. Now we can win. they, should be more confident now that they have him there. And it should help their play overall, especially on defense, because now they have something that they can say, you know what? We got to play for our quarterback. Our quarterback is here to put in work. We got to do the same. So it's going to help the team overall.
On the other side, Grindtime, they went to 2 UFL chips already, back to back. They're trying to get back. People are already calling them the Buffalo Bills of touch football. And listen, I'd rather go and do what the Buffalo Bills did and go to 4 championships and lose and then not go any. So I wouldn't take that as a disrespect. But on the other hand, this team needs to win it. But they still got to get through this tough Western Conference division to do that. And with them, luckily they got Prince Mo. But I also love the addition of Prince that they made. This team is very talented. And they're a high pedal to the metal type offense. But they're playing against a secondary that were key last year for takeaways, especially intercepting that ball.
I mean, at the end of the day, like you said about them being compared to the Buffalo Bills or whatnot, I think it's more than that. I think that they are tired of being looked at as a good team, but like there's always a but in that sentence when you're talking about grind time. They were almost but not quite. These are the things that you look at when you see grind time in the last couple seasons. They're trying to get above that. They want to be labeled as one of the top teams in the league, like Blackout, like the Sharks, like you at UTF, but they have to show in their play by getting it done. And I think that this game, they're looking to do so. They have too much talent not to get it done, and they have to show it on the field. And I think that that's what they're on the field to do right now.
We're going to jump in the game with Grindtime getting the ball on a 4-and-out. Lou with 3 passes in the gap for a decent game, getting to the 15-yard line. 4th down, Lou throws a Prince Mo in the front of the end zone. That's going to be incomplete. Turnover on downs. Big stop by PME. Way to start it off.
And those 3 passes that they got in that drive, they got some good yardage, but it wasn't close enough to be a viable play at 4th down. That they just need to move the ball and get a little bit closer. But that was good defense by PME there.
PME's going to struggle to move the ball, and they're going to have to punt. Grindtime gets the ball back. Shaw with a great return all the way to the 20-yard line, and this is what this guy has to do. He has to step out of the shadows. I've seen him pick it up late last season. He has to start off from early. That is a great return by the former MVP. I won MVP 2 years back. He has to get back on that level. Great play by him. 1st down, Lou throws the ball on the sideline, getting to the 10-yard line. 3rd down, Lou with blocking from Vic. Throws the end in the front of the end zone. The pass is tipped, picked off by Gene, who runs it all the way into the end zone for the touchdown. Shane gets the extra point. 7-0. PME gets the pick 6.
And that hurts if you're Lou right now, because you see Anthony open in the front of the end zone, but Gene makes a great play by reaching out, making the tip, and still able to get the ball and run it all the way to the end zone. This was a whole defensive play for 6 by Gene by himself. That hurts. Like I said, that was a touchdown pass one way that was turned to the opposite way by Gene's play there. Impressive defensive play there.
Lou's going to get the ball back now. 2nd down, he's going to get blitzed. He's going to scramble. Throws to Vic in the middle. It's going to be dropped by Vic, picked up by Jake Vaughn, and ran all the way to the end zone for another touchdown. Shane gets the extra point again. Deja vu, 14-0. But this time, it's for the reigning defensive player of the year. Jaquan won defensive player of the year last year. So the dude is a top guy. He led the league in interceptions, and now he gets a pick 6. This is why I say this team is on a different level. They're having fun, and they're making plays. 14-0 PME.
And all of that was caused by the blitz right here, putting pressure on Lou. Nobody's here to protect him here. So Lou trying to get the ball off. He tries to make a play here. The pass is behind Vic. Vic does not catch the ball. That leaves Jaquan right in the right place at the right time to make the pick. All of that happened because Lou was under pressure. Lou is not one of the best quarterbacks to perform well under pressure. That's exactly what PMM puts on him, and they get yet another pick 6 in the first half.
After getting the 1st down, Lou throws to Teddy in the gap for a decent game. 3rd down, Lou on 4 rush, throws to Anthony in the middle, who runs it in for the touchdown. 14-6, they're climbing back in the game. Anthony has to be a part of this passing attack. He was an all-star last year. This team needs to score points and score points fast. That's what they do, and at least they score here to get back into the game.
But I'm shocked. I thought that this was going to be another tip and pick off to run to the back to the other side of the end zone. It happened 2 times in a row, but finally Lou and this offense is able to recollect themselves and get into the end zone. Anthony, like you said, has to be one of the main factors on this offense. He has to be out there making plays, helping them drive down the field. He did that here, and because of that, they were able to get into the end zone.
First down, Rel throws deep to Chad, open in the middle. That's going to be dropped as time runs out, taking us into the half, 14-6. Chad has to make this catch. I know the guy seems like he's more worried about celebrating, like an Odell Beckham. But let's catch the football first, because this kid is mega talented, but I think sometimes he performs as far as entertaining more than performing on the field. Mm-hmm. So once he learns that, perform on the field first, entertain second, he's going to be dangerous, drops his pass, but this is going to take us into the half, 14-6 PME.
What can I say about this PME team on defense other than that? The word is terrific. That's what they're playing right now. They're doing everything that they're supposed to. They're pressuring Lou. They are locking up the defenders. They are the givers putting their hands up and making some blocks. The defenders are covering. They're in the right place at the right time, making interceptions, and they're actually putting up more points than their offense. And that just shows how well their defense is playing here. 2 pick sixes right away. I would have loved to see Chad catch that deep pass. That probably would have led to another touchdown. And this game could have probably put away early. But their defense is playing well. I don't think that they have to sweat it too much. But Rel has to show that he's in the game. He hasn't really. So he just got to perform well and get a couple touchdowns to seal the game away. He hasn't really had the need to come on the field. But I think this half, he has to show why he's there.
First of all, if I'm Grindtime, I'm disappointed because the 2 times this PME offense stepped on the field, they got stopped. But they're up. What? We can't shoot ourselves in the foot. Now, one thing that we threw 2 picks. Yes, and there were 2 pick sixes. You know what's my issue? It's because of pressure. PME was last in sacks last year with 2 sacks they had last year. And you're telling me they're pressuring us, a team that went to a championship, a team that was second in scoring, a team with the league MVP? Something is wrong. We got to get this together. We got to get this right because there's no way allowing this team to stay in this game by giving them points. That's an issue. At the end of the day, it's all about what have you done for me lately. Nobody cares if we win 2 championships in a row. Everybody looks at us as a team that's smaller and that you can beat. We need to play ball, and we need to get the guy we drafted involved in the game. That's the matchup we want to see. We drafted Prince Mo because we needed a big, elite receiver. Well, this guy's a former offensive player of the year. This is what he's here for. We need to get him involved if we want to win this football game. We're going to jump right into the second half. After a short pass, third down, Rel throws deep to Chad, wide open on the sideline, caught in the end zone for the touchdown. As you look here, they step up and they step up to guard Tone, leaving Chad open, and Rel finds him. Tone gets the extra point, 21-6 PME. I don't think they stopped Chad in the first play. He dropped the ball. Didn't stop.
Yeah.
So what did PME do? It ran the same play that they ended the first half with that they missed. They ran it in the second half and they scored. That is a great offense. That is a great quarterback to call that play. And that is great for Chad to forget about the last play and come back with this one. Now he can celebrate. Now he can entertain us. That is 21-6. Luke gets the ball. He's going to throw deep to Jigger. Open in the gap. Jigger just can't get to it. Incomplete. Third down. Lou going to throw the Ant in the gap. Who gets by Carmine and runs for a decent gain in the first down. Carmine was an all-star last year. He has to be able to make a play, especially on Ant. Ant is one of Lou's main weapons Gotta find a way to slow that kid down. Lou throws to Prince Mo, cutting in the gap. The pass is tipped, but caught by Prince Mo, getting him to the 3-yard line. Second and goal. Lou finds Bo open in the middle of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Lou throws the ball right off the line before the defense can react. Prince Mo gets the extra point. It's 21-13, but I think this all happened with the pass he threw to Prince Mo that was tipped and re-caught by Prince Mo. That's what you got to do. Get him involved, able to find Bo for the touchdown, and climb back into the game. Timmy's going to get the ball 4 out. Second down, Rel throws deep to Shane on the sideline. Shane tips it, catches it over Shaw, getting him to the 2-yard line. This is the Shane we need to see. This is the Shane that caught a big touchdown in the Street Bowl. This is the Shane that can be dominant when he wants to be. He makes a great play there. Shaw, no matter, even though Shaw can jump out the gym, Shaw's a former MVP. Shaw's a former Defensive Player of the Year. Shaw's not playing with Shane. Shane is too big, too strong. He makes a play there. Third and goal. Rel finds Isaiah in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Shaw reacts too late to the pass, and it scored a touchdown. Prince gets the interception extra point, but it's 27-13 with 1 minute left, and they are going after Shaw. Shaw is their second best defender, because I think Prince Mo is their first. Well, they're going after him, and they're making plays here. Somebody call the police, because this is child abuse, and they scored it. After getting the first down, Lou is blitzed by Chad, who gets by Davin and sacked Lou before he makes the throw. It would have been a touchdown pass to Bo. One thing, like I said, PME was last in sacks last season, and they're making plays by bringing pressure. Great play by Chad with the sack. Fourth down, after 2 short passes, Noah 4-rush throws a Prince Mo in the corner, knocked away, ended the game. PME comes away with the win, 27-13.
And this pretty much was a defensive game all the way. Yes, they were able to get a touchdown in the second. Besides the 2 pick sixes, they were able to pressure Lou. They were able to get a couple sacks. They were able to get 2 tips. And they were able to keep Lou in the pocket, you know, trying to find his receivers the best way he can. So as long as they're able to play defense like that, I think that they have a good shot to be a contender for whatever happens later on in the season. But the biggest improvement is them putting pressure on the quarterback. That is a big pickup from last season. They weren't able to do that, like you said earlier. They only had 2 sacks last season, and they got almost as much as that in this one game. So this is just a shout out to their defense playing well all around, and that's pretty much the main reason why they got this win here.
Grindtime shut them out in the first half. Yes, Grindtime threw 2 pick sixes, yes. But the both possessions that PNB had in the first half were stops. So they was 0 for 2 in the first half. Then Grindtime gives up 2 touchdowns in the second half. That can't happen. That can't happen. I think the first half kind of took the win out of Grindtime sails. They tried to creep back, but they couldn't. I mean, look, Grindtime had the ball 6 times. 6. And scored 2 touchdowns. And gave away 12 points. You're going to lose. Mm-hmm. You're going to lose. And they lost today. And this is a game that it wasn't as close as the score indicated. Once they got that momentum, it was over for Grindtime. Now, Grindtime has not looked like that we can score 30 on you easy team.
Yeah.
They were small, but they was fast. They don't look like they got that same speed. They don't look like they got that same poise. That's my issue. They started off slow. We expected them to be even better with Prince Mo. They got to find a way to get Prince Mo involved early. Prince Mo, Bo, and is a lot of firepower with just those 3 guys. Just those 3 guys. They got to find a way to be able to get the ball in those guys' hands. And Shai has to step up on the defensive side of the ball. He's their best defensive player other than Prince Mo. but they have to get a blocker. I don't know if it's E-Rock. I don't know if they need to talk to UTF about a trade. With UTF having at least 4 blockers, maybe they could get a Speedy from them. They need to pull a trade because they need another guy that can block. I like E-Rock as a blocker, but I like him being able to go in the field. I think they need a stationary blocker, a guy that's just there to block, and they're going to have to figure out how to make a trade and go get him.
At the end of the day, they have to figure it out. Either it's, like you said, find a way to get somebody to block and protect Lou in the pocket, or they have to make some quicker passes, some quicker routes out there so that they can get the ball moving quicker. Whatever it is, they got to find a way to get their offense moving because they're going to keep facing defenses that are really tough out there. So at the end of the day, the pressure that TME was able to put in this game is going to be multiple times worse because other teams have better pass rushes. So they have to figure it out. This game did not work. Lou was under too much pressure, and that is why they lost. So they got to figure it out, and I think that the offense is the issue. They got to figure out how to keep Lou protected.
We're going to wrap this game up. And remember, PME didn't even have their draft pick. Pablo wasn't here, and they won this game pretty easily. This seems dangerous. PME coming away with the win over Grindtime, 27-13. We're going to be right back. Tough Talk.